Hey guys, this is SoFlo Josh and I'm over here at Doral Acura to film this 2024 Acura ZDX A-Spec all-wheel drive for y'all. With that being said, let's go ahead and get out to the exterior and let's check out this all-new ZDX. Now I want to give a huge shout out to Doral Acura for allowing me to film this 2024 Acura ZDX for y'all. If you guys are interested in looking at any Acura, you can go ahead and contact Pepe. He'll be able to assist you in getting into an Acura today. With that being said, let's go ahead and talk about the overall styling. Now, I know, let's get the cat out of the bag. Yes, the ZDX is based on the GM Ultium Platform, which, I mean, who's better to go ahead and partner up when it comes to making an electric vehicle? Acura and Honda did not want to spend the money to go ahead and make their own platform, which is understandable. Look what's going on right now in the industry as a whole. So let's go ahead and talk about the styling of the ZDX. Now, the ZDX actually stays true to the Acura, design language. We have the chicane style DRL running lights over here that goes up to the side, which I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the turn signal because, interestingly enough, unlike other Acuras, the chicane actually changes into the turn signal, which looks really nice. I kind of wish that Acura would make this a DRL where it's amber style when it's running at night. I think that would look really nice, all in all. Down below we do have the quad beam dual eye headlight system. Now you do have your high beam assist incorporated in those headlight systems, so primarily two of these will be on. If you use your high beams, these two will come on, which is really nice. Since we do have the A-Spec, we actually have somewhat of a two-tone effect up at the front and around the side. So we get not only just the regular paint color for the front bumper that matches the actual body sheet, but we do have this nice graphite gray finish over here and this accentuated silver that goes around the whole entire lower portion of the vehicle. I think it looks really nice and very tasteful. I like the fact that Acura is actually doing a little bit of different color contrast whenever you are packaging an A-Spec vehicle or even the Type S version. The Type S version actually comes with something similar to this. Now over here at the front, since we have an electric vehicle, we don't have an opening for the Pentagon grille. Now this is a closed off Pentagon grille, but as you can see, you do have lighting that wraps around the front Pentagon grille, which is really nice. It's going to give that road presence. It's going to tell you, hey, you are looking at an Acura vehicle whenever it's coming at you. We have the bold Acura logo right there that houses all your safety sense right there. Dropping it over here, you do have some vents for the cooling of the battery, so just keep that in mind. It's going to pass air under there to cool the battery, all in all. And you do have an active air curtain off to the side over here to go around the wheel well for better aerodynamics. Let's go ahead and talk about the hood. Now the hood line is really nice. I like the overall design of it. As you can see, it kind of starts off over here at the front and actually tapers off, and it actually connects the whole entire side profile body line, which I like it a lot. And then you have one distinct line up here in the front that matches that of where the Acura logo is at, straight down the middle, and I think it looks very tasteful. Very aggressive design language. Acura has been known to having a very aggressive design language, all in all. Over here to the side, we drop it down, we actually have these 20-inch rims over here. They are a two-tone, which I'm actually a huge fan. That's actually been a thing for me when it comes to rims. I like to see the two-tone effect rather than seeing a full-on black rim section. We have that nice aluminum finish with the gloss black, and you do have that Acura badge right there. Really nice. Michelin wheels over here, the tires that we have over here, which is really good. They're all season tires, and then, like I was mentioning, you have that same graphite kind of gray finish around the wheel arch. It looks really nice. A-Spec badge right here. On the opposite side, let's go ahead and go to the opposite side. You can see you do have your charging port right over here, and it does have the A-Spec badge in the same exact location. Now over here on the side, you actually do have that exact same silver finish over here to the bottom of the door sill that actually wraps around at the end of the rear bumper. Like I was mentioning, that same exact body line that carried on from the hood is actually going to be carrying on to the whole side profile of the vehicle, and it will wrap around the actual rear tailgate, which is really cool. I like the way that they actually carried off a line around the whole vehicle. It starts off from the front and it just carries on to the back. One interesting thing that I noticed is that the fact that we have a silver trim level on the top portion of the window area, but then we have a gloss black finish. I kind of wish the Acura would have done a, you know, full-on gloss black. It would have looked a little bit better. I know that the Type S version actually comes with the gloss black around the window, but it would have been nice to see it at least in the A-Spec, so they wouldn't have to come out with a silver finish. Over here you do have your mirror cap finish in a gloss black finish, and you have your turn signal over here. This does come with the blind spot detection off over here as well. Nice door handles in the body color. At least they're body colored, unlike other brands that are currently doing it where, you know, we don't see body color door handles. We'll see them with the same like, you know, matte finish black, which I'm not a huge fan of. Carrying off over here to the back, we do have the chicane style turn signals, LED lighting as well, and you do have your full-on LED reverse light right there. A-Spec badge off to the side, ZDX all-wheel drive, and then you have this E badge, which is something that, you know, Honda went ahead and carried on into the ZDX as well as Acura. This is to like let you know that, hey, it is an electric vehicle. But I think that if you just cover this up and just completely eliminate this, I think it would look so much better without that E badge. It just would clean up the spot. There's not a lot of badges, you know. You already have the Acura badge, the A-Spec, ZDX all-wheel drive, you know, a fifth badging right there. It's not necessary. I think it would have looked better. Dropping it over here, we have the same exact graphite finish rear bumper with a little bit of gloss black underneath here as well, but it, you know, there's no way of noting that this is a internal combustion vehicle. So I think that that E badge is not necessarily needed at all, if I'm going to be honest with you. You do have your reverse camera right there, and the ZDX Type S actually has a rear view mirror camera system right over here, and a cleaning section. You do have a rear LED dirt brake light right here, and as well as your windshield wiper blade. Now I kind of wish that this, you know, rear spoiler would have actually been elongated a little bit, and then they would have tucked underneath this windshield wiper. I think it would have looked so much cleaner if they would have done that. Getting over here to the trunk is very simple. You press a button right there and it lifts up. Now the trunk is actually a you know, a large amount of space. You have 28 cubic feet of space over here, so that means you could fit a baby stroller very easily over here in the back. You do have a 12-volt right here. You can actually release the rear seats over here, which is really nice. LED lighting over here off to the back, which is good. The Acura went ahead and offered that. You could get an optional tonneau cover to cover up the back trunk. Most cars nowadays actually have you optioning that in instead of having it come standard. You do have your Bang & Olufsen speaker grills over here off to the side, and then if you open this section up, you can actually access a little compartment right here, so you can put more stuff, or even your battery if you need to go ahead and do that. So really nice. I like the overall amount of space that we're going to be getting over here in the rear trunk area. Getting over here to the rear door section, opening it up is actually really nice. You do have a hefty style door handle right over here because it is a GM product, you know, it's built in their assembly plant, but the door is actually really heavy. So here's what it sounds like when you close it. Pretty good and solid from what it sounds like on my end. Over here off to the door panel, you do have soft padding over here, injection molding. You do have a nice brushed aluminum finish with that Bang & Olufsen tweeter right here. Nice soft padding as well, so the kids can go ahead and rest their hand or rest their elbow if they are tired on the road trip. You do have an automatic up and down window in the rear, and you do have a little section right here to put a bottle of water. Big speaker right here, and then as you can see, the rear seat being folded down, it's actually elevated just a little bit, so that means you are going to have a little bit of an issue probably putting things in. A 70-inch TV though will fit comfortably in here and actually will, you know, hit a little bit of the backrest, so just letting you know that. So getting into the rear seat, surprisingly, it's actually very easy. I mean, this is a lower to the ground vehicle because, you know, it is an electric SUV, so usually SUVs for the electrified era have been lower to the ground, and this car is low to the ground. But I have a ton of legroom space, as you can see with the platform and how large they've done this vehicle. You have a ton of space. It's actually a lot bigger than what you would find in the Acura and the X. So I probably have about maybe 4 inches of legroom space. This is exactly where I would sit whenever I'm driving, and it fits very comfortably. Now I do have the seat very low down, but you could still fit your feet underneath the seat, which is really cool. 2 air vents over here for the rear occupants, which is really nice. No way of controlling the actual temperature, only the temperature will be controlled up in the front. Little cubby space right here, and you have 2 USB type C's right there. These seats feel very comfortable. They're nice sporty design language. They do have the red stitching over here as well, and you do have a little bit of that Alcantara that we saw on the front. You have your Isofix anchors right here, so you'll be able to fit a baby seat back here very easily, and there's a ton of space first and foremost to go ahead and fit a baby's feet. Dropping this down over here, you have a nice little section to put your arm, and you have 2 cup holders, so really nice to see. And you can also recline the seats depending on how you want it. You can actually recline it upright, or you can recline it even more, so you have more space off to the rear. Look at that little small section of window, so you'll be able to look out the rear. There is a little bit of blind spot from what I noticed in this section right here where that speaker grill is at, but nonetheless, I mean, you do have blind spot detection, which is really good. Speaker grills up here on the top for the amazing Bang & Olufsen speaker system. Nice LED lighting right over here for your matte pocket, your matte lights. Dropping it over here, you do have 2 matte pockets, which I'm really happy to see that Acura incorporated that. But the overall space feels really nice. Even with the panoramic sunroof, you actually get a lot of space. I would say with me sitting upright, if the seat was straight back, I say about, you know, I have roughly about 0.5 inches of headroom space. I'm 6 foot tall, but if I'm sitting back with the recline, I have about maybe 1.5 inches to 2 inches of headroom space, which is really nice. But sitting back here is very comfortable. Really nice seating position, and the seats feel very plush. I know the kids are not going to complain whatsoever, and that's to be expected. It's a luxury brand, luxury sporty brand. So opening up the front door is the exact same as the rear door. It's very hefty front door, which is really good for crash prevention. You know, any kind of intrusion into the cabin, just know that you are going to be safe in this vehicle. You do have soft padding up here on the top, soft padding right here, and that same exact brushed aluminum we saw at the rear, same soft padding, and you have your window switch gear as well. You do have automatic folding mirrors over here, which is really nice to see. Just letting you know that sound cannot be turned off. Whenever you have the front door open, it's going to continuously do that. Just keep that in mind. But over here, you do have your trunk release as well, area for your map pocket, and a bottle water holder. Speaker system right there, A-Spec badging right there. Nice soft seats with the Alcantara on this side. Sporty seats with this red stitching, power seats as well, which is good. Let's go ahead and get into the interior so we don't have to hear that sound anymore. So getting over here into the interior of the front seat is very nice. The seats feel very comfortable. They feel like a really nice sporty kind of style finish. The side bolstering is really good whenever you are sitting in it. As myself, you know, I'm a skinny fellow, so I actually have a lot of give on the side. You know, it hugs me really nice, so it's going to be really good whenever I'm traveling around corners. Over here at the front, we do have a nice steering wheel with the Acura badge and the A-Spec badge right there. You do have that same exact red stitching that we saw on the seats in the back seat and in the front seat. Nice perforation right over here as well with the 9-3 grip area. And then you do have your regenerative braking paddle shifters right here. And then below that, you actually do have the volume control or the change of track over here for your radio system. Speaking of that, we do have an 11.3 inch touchscreen display over here that is Google embedded. So this is the one that we've seen on any of the GM products. But one thing compared to that, the GM products, we actually do have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wirelessly, which is a great thing because GM has actually gotten rid of that. Unfortunately, I kind of wish that they didn't, but that's what they wanted to do at the end of the day. We also do have a full-on LED 11-inch digital gauge cluster over here off to the front. As you can see your miles per hour, the time, and depending on whenever you are using the Google Maps and stuff to put places, you actually would see it over here off to the side, which is really nice. I like the way that it's designed. I like the overall graphics. You could tell it's a very nice design. It is running on 60 frames per second, which is really nice. It's actually very, very quick, the toggles and everything. The one thing I will say is what's kind of annoying, since it is a GM product, is that you have to turn off the lighting through, or turn on the lighting through this section right here, instead of having it over here off to the steering column right here. I kind of wish that they would have kept it over here, but since it is a GM product, I can understand exactly why. Nice soft padding over here, Bang & Olufsen tweeter system right there, a nice speaker grill, and another speaker grill right here. Really nice interior, I will say that. And let's go ahead and open up the panoramic sunroof to add a little bit of lighting. As you can see, it does retract itself power wise, and you do have a large sunroof. So let's go ahead and actually open that up. And as you can see, very straightforward, this button right here off to the front, and if you press that button again, I believe it actually goes even back more, which is really good. Actually, it's the whole way open. Wow, that's actually really cool. I like the way that Acura went ahead and did that. So seat wise, everything feels really good. 2 USB type C's right there, a nice 12-volt outlet right there. You do have wireless charging right here, and if you open up here, you do have a large compartment to fit anything. Kind of wish this was aligned with felt. LED lighting right here. 2 cup holders. One, of course, is going to be larger than the other one, so you could fit a big chug of drink. You do have physical knobs for, or physical buttons, I should say, for your climate control, which is really nice. You do also have the ventilated seats and heated seats. I believe you can actually do both at the same time. No, you can't do both, unfortunately. I wish that it was like that. And you have an on-off automatic button right here for the climate control. Dual zone climate control, so that means you can go ahead and change it depending on the person who's sitting next to you. They have a really nice solid click, you know, very premium design and click, which is good to see from the Acura brand. You have your vents. It actually has physical adjustment right here, instead of it being, you know, one of those things like Tesla has where you have to like go into the infotainment screen and change up and down. Nice silver trim across the dash with that same exact red stitching as well. Mirror right here, and you have your OnStar system right here. But overall, feels really nice. I want to say something. Those pedals down there look really nice with the aluminum finish wrapped around. Let's go ahead and get out to the exterior, and let me actually open up the hood. Unfortunately, this does not come with a frunk. As you can see, it just carries over that same, you know, fake engine cover system right here with the Acura badge. I kind of wish that it would actually incorporate a frunk, because there is people who actually use it. There is people, but unfortunately, since it is a GM product, we won't be seeing that over here. Closing it, it's a very solid hood. I have to say, everything feels very solid all in all when it comes to like handling stuff. The door closing, the trunk closing it is extremely quiet. Opening this door, closing it, it's a nice solid thunk all in all. Let's go ahead and open up over here. As you can see, it is a damped style bin for your glove compartment, but is not lined with felt, unfortunately. I kind of wish that this was lined with felt. But with that being said, let's go ahead and take this bad boy out for a drive. So before we go ahead and take it out for a drive, I wanted to show you guys something really quick. We do have an electronic parking brake right here. You do have your drive modes off to the side, so this will control your normal, individual, sport, and snow, since we do have the all-wheel drive version of the ZDX A-Spec. You do have your lane departure warning toggle right there, auto hold, and you do have your dimming functionality for the instrument cluster, as well as your digital display right here. But let's go ahead and take it out for a drive. Putting it in drive is very straightforward. We push back and then down on the column shifter. Very nice. Let's go ahead and actually see how the turning radius is so far before we take it on a full drive. And I have to say, it feels very good. It feels almost on par with what you'd find in a compact utility vehicle, something like a Honda HR-V. But it feels very, very good turning radius wise. Let's go ahead and take it off to this road over here. So power level wise, the ZDX A-Spec all-wheel drive version actually makes more horsepower than the rear-wheel drive version. So a total, this makes 490 horsepower and 437 pound-feet of torque from a dual motor setup. So just keep that in mind. If you are looking to get one, I would recommend getting the all-wheel drive version. And fun fact, it's actually 10 less horsepower than what you would find in a ZDX Type S. But let's go ahead and put it into sport mode really quick. Putting into sport mode is very straightforward. And let's go ahead and see if we could brake torque it really quick. Go. Ooh. Oh, that feels good. Wow, surprisingly, that is extremely good. I am absolutely surprised on how fast this ZDX A-Spec is. It pushes you into the seat. It actually makes you feel more engaged, and the way that the fact that we have a battery, since it's an electric vehicle, the best part is that that low center of gravity will be able to assist you when you're going around corners. So if we go ahead and throttle it just a little bit and we take it around some bends over here, hopefully, very straightforward. It's very direct. The steering actually feels very direct as well, which is really nice to see. But I'm very impressed on how this vehicle rides. You know, it's very, very fast. Think about this for a second. This is a class below what you find in the MDX Type S. And the MDX Type S only makes 355 horsepower. This makes 490 horsepower from the get-go and makes more torque than that MDX Type S. But overall, it feels very comfortable. The power levels are there. Suspension feels really good. These are an adaptive suspension, so I think that with the ZDX Type S, you actually get air suspension. This one doesn't come with the air suspension, so that's why in the trunk space you had a little bit more compartment space, because if you had the air suspension, the air compressor would actually be in that lower section. But it feels very comfortable, and I like the overall visibility. Yes, it is a little bit of a sloping roofline design, but you could see very, very well out the rear window right there. But the overall visibility out the front is really nice as well. And you actually do hear a little bit of that, of course, you know, pedestrian warning with the augmented sound on the exterior, which is nice. And I'm glad that Acura didn't go ahead and put a fake exhaust system Dodge with this vehicle. So really cool that they went ahead and did that. This is a fully electric vehicle. There's no need to go ahead and do that. I mean, that's just plain old acting silly. But it feels very comfortable. These 9-3 grips on the steering wheel. It's very nice, thick steering wheel all in all. And I have to say, it feels very, very nice. We're gonna go ahead and throttle it a little bit. We're gonna take it around that bend a little hard. As you see, it feels very nice. Now there is a little bit of a body roll, but it's not too much where you can go ahead and, you know, not control it. But it's a decent amount of body roll, which is to be expected. It is an electric vehicle. It is a heavy vehicle, all in all. But let's go ahead and take it back over here to this parking lot, and we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the video for y'all. So we're back over here at the parking lot, and let's go ahead and shut off the vehicle, and let's go ahead and talk about my final impressions. Now I have to say, I'm very, very impressed with the ZDX A-Spec. I just thought that since, you know, online everybody was talking about the fact that it's a GM product, it's not going to be good. And I have to say, I think it's an absolutely amazing product. The way that it handles around these curves, the power delivery is great, especially in this all-wheel drive version. I would totally recommend getting the all-wheel drive version, and actually saving more money getting the A-Spec version than getting the Type S version. The reason why I say that is you only have 10 less horsepower. The torque is a little bit less as well, but do you really need the Type S? I don't think so. I think that the styling wise, it carries over that same exact styling from the Type S. So what's the point of getting the Type S when you can get the A-Spec? I think the interior is also very, very nice. Everything is very solid. The side bolsterings over here, the seat perforation, the fact that we have cooled seats, it doesn't sound that loud whenever you have it on. We actually have functional vents that we could change ourselves, and instead of it being in the infotainment screen. And it sounds very solid. Very, very solid put together vehicle. And I have to say, great job Acura all in all. I think it was a great decision for Acura to collaborate with General Motors for this vehicle. And I have to say, I would totally recommend such a vehicle if you're looking for any kind of, you know, electric vehicle. This would be something, especially in its price range. It's very tasteful. It's comparable to the Cadillac Lyriq. So Of course, it's going to be comparable because it rides on the same exact GM Ultium Platform. But if you're looking for something less expensive, you know, a little bit more sporty design language, not too much of like an alien look design, I would totally recommend getting something like this. This has that level of sportiness. Once again, huge shout out to Doral Acura for allowing me to film this video for you guys and gals. If you guys ever want to contact somebody, make sure to contact Pepe. Make sure also to like, comment, and subscribe on the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.